Hello, KCIW listeners, and welcome to Curry Café. I'm volunteer Rick McNamer with host Ray Gary, KCIW's own famous radio personality. Every Sunday afternoon from 3 to 4, we put together a panel of guests, or guest in our case today, to discuss topics of interest in our beautiful community by the sea. Listeners can participate in our show by texting in questions or comments to 541-661-4098. Again, that's 541-661-4098. Now, here's your host, Ray Gary, to tell us about today's show.
Yeah, as Rick mentions, we frequently have a panel that we're interviewing, but today there's no need for a panel because we have the one and only expert on his subject, and I'm going to let Tim introduce himself, tell you all about him, and why he thinks we should waste the next hour of our life listening to him. I shouldn't say waste. We should spend
Hello. Take it away, Tim.
Wow, what an introduction. I'm not sure what to say after all that.
You have to live up to it, that's all.
Well, real quick, my name is Tim Connolly, and I'm a retired educator from the state of Arizona. I worked in a very small community that was controlled by a copper mine. And at one time, we had 1,000 kids in the high school. And as time went by, the rumors were out that the mine was going to sell, and it did.
Ooh.
And when it sold, it was closed, so we lost 2,000 or 3,000 jobs. We went from 6 schools to 1, and I kind of saw the writing on the wall when we shrunk so badly. Right now, it's a K-12 on 1 campus, if you can imagine that.
Unbelievable.
In any case, I got interested in some other things, and I had an opportunity to retire early. I was always attracted to the Curry County because I love to fish, and that's what brought me here.
Tim, if you don't mind, what community in Arizona was that?
The community was called San Manuel. It was northeast of Tucson. So if you've been in Tucson before, there's predominant mountain range, the Santa Catalinas. I worked on the other side of those mountains, and it was the copper corridor, basically. Almost every community up and down that highway had a smelter and a copper mine.
Yeah. Real quick, I've been to Tucson once with my wife. We almost moved there. I particularly thought that was a beautiful
I love that place.
I really did.
Tucson's a very nice community. Fortunately, we lived at a little higher elevation in Oracle. Perhaps you've heard of Oracle. That's where the biosphere is.
Oh, yeah.
And you could see the biosphere if you got up on the roof of the home that I lived in Oracle. But it was almost 4,000 feet in elevation, much cooler in the summer.
Yeah.
So you could kind of get a break from the heat in the lower desert.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been to the biosphere a couple of times.
Oh,
I never realized, though, that it was that much cooler than Tucson. But I was only in Tucson in the wintertime.
Generally speaking, 6 degrees for every 1,000 feet of elevation.
Huh.
So the evenings were, even when the evenings were hot as heck in Tucson, Oracle was quite nice, very comfortable.
Wow. Yeah, I was impressed with the topography, the cactus, the whole thing, the mountains. It was just, I thought it was a beautiful place.
It was very, very nice.
Okay.
I do wildlife photography, and in my opinion, you can hardly find a better place. I'd walk my dog in the morning for a couple of hours in the desert, and it was a rare day that we didn't see something worth photographing.
I believe you. Nice community.
And Tucson's kind of it's an okay place to live. It's not like a big city. It's not like Phoenix for sure.
They think of it as the little brother of Phoenix. Phoenix is. I'm not going to badmouth Phoenix, but I'd have a hard time. I'd have a hard time living there. The temperatures are just incredible.
They are
busy, and growing like mad.
Yeah, oh man, when we flew in there, when we went to, it was about 7-8 years ago, but flying over and flying into, that's where we flew into, and then rented a car from Phoenix to Tucson. But my gosh, it's intimidating. It's so spread out and big.
Anytime we would travel through the Phoenix, we try to leave as early as we could in the morning, try to beat the heat.
Yeah.
And even then, it would be 95 at midnight, and that's tough.
Pretty brutal. Sorry, Phoenix people, but
I almost moved there once in the early 70s, if I remember right. The city was the fastest growing city in the country, but the growth was ahead of the population moving in. So there was an awful lot of vacant apartment buildings and things like that, and people who invested a lot of money in rental property, and they couldn't keep it up because there wasn't the renters. So I had a deal with my brother-in-law that we were going to buy one of those places. You could literally use an old pickup truck as a down payment, and you just had to keep it afloat. And had we done that, I think I'd be pretty rich right now. But
Yeah, maybe.
Alaska was calling me, so I had to go back.
Okay.
My guess is that real estate market has turned around because I think it's a hot community right now.
Oh, yeah.
And you've got Scottsdale and Mesa and Gilbert and on and on, and they're huge cities.
Yes, they are. Yeah.
They have a water problem, though, don't they?
Oh, they're having an issue.
There's some issues with the Colorado River, that's for sure.
Big time. Yeah,
The reservoirs are pretty low, and that's going to be an issue.
it will be.
Will have to be addressed sooner or later.
You bet. So from the hot, dry Phoenix, let's talk about the beautiful oceanside community of Brookings. So what brought you up here for fishing first?
Well, I own a solar home in Northern California, and I used to gold mine there starting in 1982.
Where, if you don't mind? I'm from Northern Cal.
Salmon River, close to Callahan, Etna, Fort Jones.
Oh, Etna, I know. Okay.
You familiar
Very
with
northern
that?
California.
Yeah, very
Yes.
northern.
I got
In
you.
fact, you could throw a stone to the Oregon State line.
Yes, you can.
In any case, I gold mined during my summers, and unfortunately, I retired there, and fishing has been closed. The mining, I can't mine the way I used to, and there's very little to do. So I thought, well, I'll go fishing in Oregon and see how that's worked out. And I shot for 10 years, finally found a home. Very pleased to have it.
So are you talking about commercial fishing?
No, this was just sport
The
fishing.
sport fishing.
They're concerned about the salmon, rightfully so, but they've closed the rivers all but 2 months out of the year.
Yeah.
And it's pretty tough to fish under those conditions.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of water up here, a lot of places to fish.
Okay, so what's the reason you're here today?
Well, I'm here as a representative of the Curry County Cruisers. I'd like to talk about the upcoming car show, go
Please
over the
do.
schedule a little bit, and I'd also like to give you a little background of the Curry County Cruisers. The Cruisers were organized in 1987, and at the time it was simply a club members made up of individuals, families, anybody that had a deep admiration for classic cars, trucks, or other motorized vehicles. Our mission statement is very, very simple. The Curry County Cruisers Car Club was formed to preserve, promote, and encourage the enjoyment of all special interest automobiles.
I like that term special interest better than classic cars because a lot of special interest cars are not classic cars.
I agree. And also, though, a brand new Corvette has a certain amount of interest to it.
Yes.
But it's hardly a classic.
Yes.
Beautiful car.
Yeah.
But we accept anything. We have members that really don't have any fancy cars.
Yeah.
They just like being with people that do.
That's
I
great.
could not imagine calling a 49 Plymouth a classic. There's nothing classic about it, I don't think. And many, many, many cars that were made in that era.
It just depends on your definition of classic. I've got an 84 Jeep CJ7. That's 40-some years old. I kind of think of that as a classic.
Well, there's classic, and then there's, what was your other term? Cars of interest.
Special
Right,
interest,
yeah.
I guess.
My Thunderbird is not a classic, but to me it's a car of interest. And I don't think my Model T would be considered a classic either, but it is to me. It's what I want to own.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. But we take anybody. We're not very particular.
And that's really cool because that was one of my questions. Does one have to have a certain car to
No.
belong? No. Just a love and admiration and passion for what you guys
Exactly.
do. And that's awesome.
Yeah, we don't turn anybody away. And to join, it's just a couple $20, I think, $25. You're good for the year. We encourage you to attend all our meetings, our potlucks. At the car show, we have a lot of volunteers needed for the car show. It takes a huge amount of manpower. We almost had 200 cars last year, and you can't do it with just two people. So we need people.
Wow.
It's challenging to put on
Sounds
a big
like
car
a
show.
message we're familiar with here
Yeah.
at KCIW, but that's great.
Yes, that's how do. So I've been to those shows a couple of times, and they're not all local cars. Right?
Oh, no, we draw cars from all over the West Coast.
And how do people find out about your?
Well, the website, number one, the fact that we've been doing it now, this will be the 32nd annual benefit car show coming up Memorial Day weekend. The word gets out. Also, there's publications that list car shows all over the West Coast. So if you want to travel as far as Southern California or go all the way up to Seattle, Washington, or go far east to Nevada, you're listed. So if you want to find a car show in 2 weeks, you open up that booklet and say, oh, yeah, I'd like to go to this one. And there's a mess of them up and down the coast.
Oh.
A bunch.
So I'm curious. So when you do have like you're at the harbor when you're doing the car shows, so you do get people from all over the place to come in?
You betcha.
What do you know what roughly the longest person or the longest drive somebody has made for that?
We give a gas card to the group or the individual that traveled the furthest.
Oh, that's so
And
cool,
we've had
man.
some people come down from Victoria.
Oh.
So we do the mileage. It's, well, clearly this guy's way ahead of somebody that came from Grants Pass.
Okay.
And it's always kind of a nice thing to award somebody. It's a
Especially
small
now.
monetary gift. It helps, especially with the price of gas.
I was gonna
they're
say,
they're
not
excited
so
to
small.
take it.
I would imagine the people that do these shows as a hobby and that literally do start in Victoria and plan their trip down, but with
They're
where shows
the
are.
people that won our contest 2 years ago did just that. They put their car in a trailer. They started as far north as you can get, and they were doing car shows all the way to Los Angeles.
So if it's it's a contest, the shows, right? So how does that work? Would my Model T be up against a 65 Impala?
No. The Model Ts you'd have your own classification. They're probably, I'm going to guess and say we'll have possibly a half a dozen at the car show. And they would be then judged individually. The judging, frankly, they're not going to start your car. They're not going to climb under the car and look at what you've done underneath it. What it gets the judge's attention is basically eye candy. Look at an interior. There was a Volkswagen van at the car show last year that their entire interior was done with bamboo. And it was stunning.
Yeah.
It was a spectacular car. You wouldn't believe it unless you could see it. Clearly, that was modified because that's not the way they came in 1950, whenever.
No, not at all.
But your car is stock.
Yeah.
So you would be in with the stock Model Ts or all the other models.
So the improvements I've made on mine they're not factory, but they're period. For instance, I have a motometer, the little thing with the wings that has the temperature on the radio. Ford did not sell those, but they were period for the time.
Was it available at the time the car was made?
Yeah.
Then you'd be fine as a stock car.
I'm putting auxiliary brakes on it that were also period, and Ruxtall axle, which is also period. But
Judges wouldn't look at an axle.
well,
And-
it incorporates another gear shift in the or a gear shift. It doesn't have any gear shifts.
You're a judge, but you have to have your car hood up. And if you look at under a car hood, it's pretty clear if you've got a stock
Yeah.
versus a modified.
Yeah.
My El Camino, I've got a 72 El Camino, stock as can be. I've even got the original air conditioning from a 72. And you look at it, it's obvious it's not been modified.
Wow, that's another thing about road. Do these cars have to be road ready as far as drivable? And if they are, in other words, most people that come from Victoria, they're not going to drive that car. They're going to trailer it, I assume. Is there only
Not necessarily.
They have
now,
driven the whole way.
There
Some
are people that have cars that are worth $100,000. They're pavement princesses. They're not going to be out of a trailer.
Okay.
They'll trailer it here. They'll park their trailer. They'll drive the car to the car show. Car show's over. They'll drive it back to the hotel where they're staying, load it up, and go to the next show.
Okay.
So I bet you we'll have a dozen cars here Memorial Day weekend that were trailered. The bulk of them, clearly the bulk of them, are driven.
And again, working up to over the Donner Summit near Truckee, and during August, hot August nights in Reno,
Yep.
see a lot of nice cars cruising back and forth. There's got to be the maintenance and upkeep it takes to maintain these works of art. That's got to be a big deal. It must be hard to get parts for these things.
No, you'd be surprised.
Really?
You'd be surprised. Get on the internet.
Well,
The internet's
there
an
we go.
amazing thing.
Internet.
And it never lies. You all knew that.
Yeah.
So I'm being facetious, obviously. But if you needed, I needed stuff for my 84 CJ7, and I found a dozen companies
I'll
that would
be
sell me
darned.
parts.
There are catalogs that you can actually build a brand new Model T from.
That's correct.
But a year or so ago, more than that, 3 or 4 years ago, I pulled the head off because I dropped something in a spark plug hole, but I won't talk about that. So I had the head off and didn't think anything of that until I went to put it back on, and I wanted to order a new head gasket. Well, I happened to do that at a time that there were no head gaskets available any place in the country. A friend of mine found one in London, and I contacted them, and they said, well, yeah, we can sell it to you, but the shipping is going to be more than you would pay for it if you bought it. And I told them that this is not available. They're just not available. So I didn't pay too much for it. I paid more shipping coming from England than coming from California. And I put it on, and then I was at the time I was a avid follower of eBay, what was available for Model Ts on eBay, and lo and behold, there was a head gasket.
Yep.
Was not aware that they were now available, so I bid $100 on a $25 item, thinking that got a steal, and then I realized the next day they were in all the catalogs for $25.
Live and learn.
Yes.
They touched your passion, man. You were you did it.
The one thing I could say about owning a car of interest is they're an excellent way of disposing of any disposable income you might have.
Well,
Even if it's not disposable, you may be selling the family something or others to get some.
I'm assuming that the people in these clubs that's not that much of a concern because it's just about the love and care and passion they have for these. Like I say, I call them works of art, the ones that I see driving around. And so for you car folks out there, you can text in questions or comments to 541-661-4098. And I'll go back to the maintenance and repair and stuff, Tim. So is there, like in your group, is there a particular maybe person or persons that say if somebody needs a little help? I know that even if I had a car, I couldn't do anything to it because I don't know much about them. But is there people that will specialize in, okay, I can help, Bill or Sheila or whatever with this
Yes,
car?
we have several. These are top-notch mechanics.
Oh.
Actually, they're called technicians anymore, but sharp as can be.
That's huge.
And if you need an answer and they don't have it, they'll find it.
That is awesome.
Most helpful group of people imaginable, top-notch mechanics, great technicians, good people for advice, whether you need welding or powder coating or painting or what have you. Plus, we have body shops in town here that do remarkable work.
Wow.
I can't plug them all. There's too many, but clearly, all I got to do is head down towards Harbor, and you're going to see a bunch. And they do really good work. Really good work.
Well, that's good to know.
Yeah, I've used two of the body shops here, and both times it was just, I couldn't see what they had done. It was perfect.
Just looked perfect.
Yeah, and even matching 20-year-old paint. Okay.
When I had the El Camino painted, the gentleman that painted it for me has since passed away, but I got the color charts out from 1970 to see what colors were they putting on Chevelles, same colors that went on El Caminos. So I found a kind of a dark green, a sequoia green, and it is clearly a stock color. But if I hadn't have known the painter, I'm not sure if I would have gotten the right color.
Wow.
So there's a lot of people to help out.
Yeah. Which is good to know if you, one of the lucky few with a classic car. And back to that, is there kind of there must be some kind of parameters as far as somebody wants to join, they have a certain kind of car that, is it up for acceptance or no, we can't use a car, but you're welcome to join the club? In other words, years, are there years that are
We're
not at all?
We're not selective at all. I've never seen it.
Okay.
We're curious about what you drive in once. I haven't seen that truck before. Oh, I just met the guys, a new member. That's kind of a cool thing.
Okay.
But all in all, I've never seen him turn anybody away.
Wow. Unusual for some clubs.
Well,
around.
perhaps.
But that's great.
The only one I'm involved with.
Well, that's awesome. And I do know from your website, you guys are huge community assistants with your donations and all of the stuff that you guys have done over the years.
Give me an opportunity to brag just a little bit.
Oh, please do.
Last year alone, we donated $9,100 just to feed people in Curry County. Some of that money went to Brookings Harbor, Community Helpers, the Chetco Activity Center, Brookings Meals on Wheels, Gold Beach Senior Center, and the list goes on and on and on. That was, again, $9,000 just to feed people. We spent another almost $8,000 on just the community, perhaps Core Response, Coastal Home Health Hospice, Veterans of Foreign Wars, the Brookings High School, Brookings Harbor Educational Foundation, and then lastly on my list, just community items, Nature's Coastal Holiday, the Chetco Valley Museum, the American Music Festival, the Grange, and that was another $4,000. So last year alone from the car show, we donated $21,600. All of it went to organizations in Curry County.
And how do these people? How do they darken your door? Do you find them out, or do they come to you and apply for it?
A little bit of both. The thing that I've done, my wife and I have done this now for a few years because we've been in charge of the funding, is I just look up their mission statement. And I say, okay, what is this mission statement all about? And that gives me a good way of judging whether this would be a good organization to donate to. And again, all in all, we've never turned anybody away. And we've even at times taken up emergency measures. We knew of an animal at the Humane Society that needed a very elaborate surgery, and we cut him a check to help him take care of those costs. But the biggest thing we do is support the community, again, for food, for services. And we also help all the fire departments. I was mentioning earlier to you when we were talking, we've given money to the Harbor Volunteer Fire District, the Winchuck Fire District, Meals on Wheel program, and extra donations to the food bank, Cape Farello Fire District, and they've taken that money and done some really wonderful things. GPS in the trucks, gloves for firefighting, anything at all. We are a fire-wise community now ever since the big fire, the Chetco Bar fire.
Yeah.
And I don't think people realize just how much the volunteer fire departments did when we did have wildfires. So any opportunity to support the volunteer fire departments is a good dollar spent, in my opinion.
Oh, that's huge. Absolutely huge.
You know, when I see somebody go by with a Curry County Cruiser T-shirt or something on, it's not something that comes to mind at all. It does now because now I know about it. So where do you gather these funds from?
Well, like I said, this year alone, I can't read them all to you. I'd be here for hours. We have a list that we've been using now. We either enhance it, check out mission statements, or just continue to go into what we have. I believe I've got it somewhere written down here. My wife prepared me for this. 29 organizations got money last year.
But how do you get the money?
Yeah, where do those donations come from? I mean, your members,
obviously. Okay, we simply go out and say, listen, for instance, Trees of Mystery. We go down there and say, would you like to help out this year? They've done it in the past. So they give us a cash donation. They give us a basket of whatever. Romano's Cheese in Crescent City does the same thing.
Know it well.
They give us a basket of cheese, perhaps a bottle of wine, and that goes into raffle prizes, which is a huge part of our fundraising. And some of it, if it's high dollar, it goes into a silent auction. Our silent auction last year, we had an electric guitar. We had a beautiful safe for keeping firearms. Amazing things on the silent auction. Fishing trips, redwood carvings that comes out of the redwood carvers in Crescent City. Actually, that's out by Hauchi. And all of that is on our list from last year. We go and see them again this year. We have 4 main sponsors this year, and that would be the pizza benefit car show that's being sponsored by Wild Rivers Pizza. We also have a major sponsor with Dairy Queen. We have a major sponsor with Darren Farmer Insurance. And lastly, we have a really nice relationship with Golders Napa.
I'll be Darren Farmer, my agent. So thanks, Darren.
Good guy, from what I can tell.
Right on.
Good guy.
Right on.
And these organizations support Curry County. And that's one of the reasons why we've got a good relationship with them.
So you have events, obviously. You sound like a busy group throughout the year, whether
Correct.
You're doing the auctions or whatever you're doing, car shows. I mean, I know the car shows are probably just once a year, I'm guessing.
We begin preparing for next year's car show, January.
Okay.
It takes every bit of 5 months to pull that off. Simple things like having people there to park cars, registration, running the raffle, on and on. It takes a lot of manpower, and it takes months to prepare.
And you guys are like us, probably all volunteer.
That is correct.
Everybody.
No one draws a salary in the Curry County Cruisers.
No one
So
draws a
would you
salary, yet you guys donate a lot of money to the community.
Well, we're over $125,000 now.
That's just super.
Yeah.
Really is.
We're very proud of it.
And I know this number fluctuates, but roughly how many members right now?
I believe we have 62 members right now. I think this most I've ever seen was perhaps 80. At one time during COVID, I think we dropped down to, isn't it something you say COVID, everybody knows what you're talking about?
And that's going to go on for a while, probably.
Oh, we're still feeling the effects.
Yeah, we can blame just about anything. on COVID.
But in any case, there's just a ton to do. Sometimes the money drops off. COVID was a hard year.
Oh,
Yes.
hard year for everybody.
We lost a car show
More.
that year.
Oh,
And
no
so that was
kidding.
one year where we're not able to generate funds for donations.
Okay, kind of had to write that one off
Exactly.
like most people did.
The show was canceled. It was very disappointing because we were ready to go, and the governor said, nope, no, or you can't. Remember,
Really?
there was so many feet, and oh, Jesus.
It
That's
was an
another
ugly
thing that you're
time.
really in close contact with.
I agree. We said
and
the same
outdoors,
thing.
and yeah, I wouldn't have hesitated going to that.
Well, we didn't have it.
So you raise money at the car show. So there's the fees that are paid by the people who want to show their car?
Up until the 1st of May, if you want to register your car, it would cost you $25. After May 1st, it would cost you $30. And we do that just to encourage people to get online and get their cars registered. Gives us a much better idea of what to expect Memorial Day weekend.
So if they have a $30 investment, that's not really enough to make you definitely show up, but it kind of encourages people a little bit anyway.
Perhaps. Now, some people simply wait because they want to see a weather forecast.
Oh, wow.
You know how that is. And that's a
Yes, we
crapshoot
do.
here. Let's face
Yes.
it. It can change in 10 minutes.
This ain't Phoenix.
Yeah, they're pretty consistent up there. We were fortunate. I'm looking for some wood to knock on. The last 2
Okay.
years, we had spectacular weather, and we were close to 200 cars.
Uh-huh.
And that has a great bearing. We have a few don't show, but we can't.
Probably pretty rare, though.
We can't return the money. It's just
Yeah.
we live with it,
Right.
Now, if somebody was ill, something tragic happened, of course we'd return the money.
Okay.
But if you're just trying to dodge raindrops, I can't
No.
support a refund on that.
Right. Well, again, a lot of special stuff. So personally, with you, at what time in your life did you realize, oh man, I'm a big car lover. I got to carry this. Now, we talked, like I said before the show. Yes, my grandfather gave me a '55 Chevy when I was a junior in high school. Did I appreciate it? No, I should have ran my disclaimer because I'm not a car guy. Don't know much about them. But that was it was a great gift, and I was admired by most of my friends back then for that. But I didn't go on to be a big car guy. So what about you?
Well, frankly, I'm more of a motorcycle guy than I am a car guy.
Oh, you have motorcycles also.
I've got 2 right now. I've had as many as 20, and that's another long list. But
man.
that got me hooked when I was about 16.
Okay.
First motorcycle, I had a Kawasaki, and it was an absolute rocket. And then I got bold and bought a 1950 Harley Davidson, and that was a classic.
Okay.
And like a dummy, that got sold. We talked about the cars we've owned that we've sold. I think
Yeah.
about the motorcycles I've owned that I've sold. I wish I still had. But you can just have so many toys in life, and
Well, some people can mount them up.
Yes, that's true.
That's okay.
But my first car was a '59 Rambler wagon, if you can imagine that.
Oh, hot car show item. Huh?
It was. I don't see too many Ramblers. A few show up, and then I had a
That
Valiant.
will never be a classic, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure. You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. And I've had a few Mustangs, and I had a good friend with a GTO that I still have great memories. And again, I got the El Camino now and the CJ, and that's about as far as I'm going to go with special interest cars,
Yeah.
classics, call them what you want.
Are these daily drivers, or do you have a regular car too?
I've got too much rolling stock, to be honest with you. I've got several trucks. I've got a 91 S10. I think it's kind of a special interest rig. Beautiful little four-wheel drive truck. Just got a lot of toys.
Yeah.
3 ATVs, more stuff than a person should ever own.
Every now and then I see something, I should buy that, but I don't. I have a garage that will fit 6 cars, and I only have 3 in there now, so I keep saying, well, when I get put the Model A over there and this and that. But anyway.
But we can all identify cars we own that we sold, and we kick ourselves in the rear for doing it. I had a black 65 Galaxy convertible, red interior with a red boot that went over the top when it was down. 289 automatic. What a car.
That was one of their prettiest years.
Beautiful car.
Yeah.
And I have no idea where it's at now. Just beautiful car.
Well, again, we were talking, like I said, before the show, I sold that 55 Chevy for $250 to a friend and don't know where it is now.
Well, hopefully it's out there somewhere.
Hopefully.
I had a friend who later became my brother-in-law, and I don't remember, we had a 55 Ford, 2-door sedan that was in pretty good shape. And somewhere or another, it had a crappy engine, and we acquired an engine and put a new engine in it, and I gave it to him to sell, and I don't remember what we sold it for. It was probably like $500 or something, but that was a fun project. When I was going to school, we had the jocks, and we had the car guys, and I was one of the car guys. I watched baseball, but I didn't play very well, and we would. I don't know, 3 or 4 of my friends were also car guys or just had old beaters because that's what we could afford. And it wasn't at all uncommon to, after school, we'd just meet in my friend's garage and we'd pull an engine out and do a valve job or something, put it back in again. And it's just what we did as a hobby.
It's what
Not as a hobby, as a necessity to have a 53 Ford.
I had the similar experience with motorcycles. We'd all be at someone's garage. Guy had a lathe. He could make stuff and customize. I sold that bike to buy a home.
Well,
That was a down payment, not the whole cost, but it was a down payment. But I think about the bike. I got pictures.
Yeah.
It was stunning.
Maybe you made the wrong decision.
It'd be worth a fortune today.
Right on. Well, listen, we are a little over halfway through our wonderful show today. And like I said, anybody out there, you can text in 541-661-4098 here at KCIW 100.7 FM in beautiful Brookings. And you can go, anybody else out there want to have a passion that they want to come on the radio, you can talk about it here. Get a hold of us at kciw.org. And I'll go back to saying I'm not really a car guy. I'll never forget, and this was probably 18 years ago. I worked for the railroad. I was up in Reno, and I was in a hotel, and I didn't even realize it was in August. Hot August nights was going on, and from my hotel, I was going to walk down to the casino for dinner, and there was the parade of all of these cars that, it gave me the chills. The colors, the people driving them. I'm getting the chills thinking about it right now. You could just sense the big love. And what also cracked me up was there was a lot of young kids driving. I'm assuming Grandpa let the young kids drive their classic car, and man, they were just beaming. You could feel that love and excitement just watching those people and those cars, because that's a real big event. Hot August nights.
Anytime people see classics or special interest cars, I think it takes them back to their youth.
Sure it does.
Takes them back to when they first started driving. As you said, you got a wonderful gift, your Chevy, which is remarkable. I mentioned to you earlier, I've had people come up to me and say, I had an El Camino just like that. I went to the prom in a car just like that. Or, my dad had a car like that. I hear that a lot.
Yeah.
And I think also another thing we do, which is I think a very cool thing, we do show and shines at the retirement centers in the community here. And they'll come out in walkers, wheelchairs with help and look at cars. And you should see the look on their faces, because they've lived through the era where those cars were very common.
Yeah.
They lived through World War I and World War II, and they remember all this stuff. And it's very nostalgic to see these people, see their expression on their faces. And often they'll do a barbecue for us, and they'll even give an award to the car they like the best.
Now, you have show and shines, though, at places that are not like that, like over at the park here now and then. You have a couple of dozen cars, I guess.
We try to do our car shows, our show and shines, to help the people that have sponsored us. So, for instance, we'll take and park at Wild Rivers Pizza one night, and we all go in and eat. Or we'll park at Foxy's because they've been real good to us. And it gives opportunity for people to see cars, because sometimes we'll have as many as 30 cars at these show and shines.
Yeah.
Sometimes only a dozen. We don't have a great parking at the Napa dealer, but we still go up there.
Oh, wow. Okay.
We used to use it where the Dodge dealership used to be, which is a great spot for parking cars, because everybody that drives up and down the main road can see them.
Oh, right.
It's kind of a
right,
cool
right.
It's still a great spot for parking cars.
Yes,
Because
it
that's all they're doing there now.
Well, that's an appliance store,
appliance.
I believe.
Yeah, and the huge parking lot with a few cars.
Yeah.
I guess they're selling cars at it. And I went to an event a couple of weeks ago, and I parked my car there, but it did
you mean
not
for
sell.
local
Well,
people just to put a vehicle there.
Yeah,
Well, it's a good place. A lot of space.
a lot of traffic. You bet.
Yeah. Yeah. And so now again, the big car show coming up is it Memorial Day. Memorial weekend.
Let me go over the schedule, because
do that
this
again.
confuses people.
Please.
We encourage people to get in the parade. The Curry County Cruisers has already paid the registration to be in the Memorial Day Parade, which is on Saturday. We line up about 8, and we get moving around 10-ish, give or take. So we encourage people to, if you're going to be in the car show, which is Sunday, come on into town early, get a motel room. We can possibly get you a discount on a motel room. Got to have a place for you to park your trailer. Take your car, put it in the parade, and then we ask people to go down to the parking lot of the port for a show and shine on Saturday. That also gives people an opportunity to pre-register. That way they don't have to be in line Sunday, the day of the show, to register their cars. But the show and shine that we have on Saturday is so well attended, some people think that's the car show. Because
I think I've probably done
we'll
that.
have 50 cars parked down there, and I go, where do we do voting? I go, wrong day.
Not a bad problem to have.
It's on Sunday. We're the only car show that I'm familiar with that has it on a Sunday.
Okay.
So again, we hope you'll get into the parade. Not required. If you get into town early, you get in the parade. If you want to pre-register early, come down to the port parking lot on Saturday between 12 and 3.
Okay.
Then on Sunday, the 24th, we'll have more registrations beginning at 7:30, and that will close at 11. Our judging will begin at 9 and will be done shortly after 11. Our awards presentation will be at 3.
And what are the awards? Are any cash involved in this, or you just
No.
get a trophy or something?
Plaques for first, second place, specialty plaques, and these are very nice. Best interior gets a championship plaque. Best engine gets a plaque, and the best interior gets a plaque. So that Volkswagen I mentioned with that bamboo interior, I voted for them. They didn't win it, but that was one of the best interiors I've ever seen.
For some reason, that makes me think of Cheech and Chong with the bamboo. Why do I go there?
Were they smoking bamboo? I don't think
Big
they.
bamboo. I don't know. I don't know. But that's very cool.
Yeah.
Tom. Really. And a real quick shout out for KCIW, our famous radio personality's Thunderbird is going to be in the parade this year.
And I might have a 100-year-old Model T as
And
well.
maybe a Model T.
So again,
If there's anybody out there that knows about the mechanics of a Model T, I could sure use some help with that. You can get a hold of me through KCIW.
I could do an SOS through the website. Somebody might respond. But other things that are happening during the day, I have the princess and her court come up on stage, the ones from the parade, the Azalea Festival.
Oh, yeah.
Young people are taking such a bad rap anymore.
And I disagree with that. And I agree with what you're saying, and I disagree with the bad rap.
I bring these young ladies up. This is the best of the best. These are outstanding young ladies with credentials, and they've got incredible plans. They're great students, great athletes. So I figured, what better way to incorporate the Azalea Festival festivities with the car show? So I have them come up, but I have them do the talking.
Awesome.
I will introduce the queen, and she will then say, my name is such and such. I intend on going to this college. Give a few tidbits about what she's been up to. Then she hands the mic to the next girl, and she has to do the same thing. I'll do that at about 11 o'clock on on Sunday. Then we have the Shark Tones playing from 12 till 2. If you haven't heard the Shark Tones, you're missing out on some good surf music.
Yes.
They're wonderful.
Ernie is a magician with surf music with his guitar.
And there'll be a beer garden brought to you by Checo Brewery. And there'll be a few wagons for getting some chow. I know we'll have Mexican food, miscellaneous things. That'll all come together before Memorial Weekend.
Great.
So if we could back up just a little bit, these girls that you have, what is the name of that organization?
They're high school students from Brookings High School, and they're basically the princess who won. I'm going to use the word pageant, but
Thank
that's
you. That's what I
probably
was
not.
trying to come up with.
It's not the best word to use. 'Cause
it works.
they weren't in bathing suits. They were dressed in
Got
gowns.
it.
And this is it's not a beauty contest.
No, and they have to apply, and they're going to look at their grades. They're going to look at the activities they're involved in, and they pick anywhere between 6 and 8 or 9 of the most outstanding kids that you will meet coming.
We
out
had a
of
bunch of them in here, I think, on Jacques and Doc, and they were, as you say, outstanding
People.
Speakers,
They're
yes. and they were-
spokespeople for the community in the schools. And
this girl's 16 years old, and she's so mature.
yeah, very.
But
impressive.
at that time, and I think they've changed, I think winning a beauty contest was also part of being a member of that crew. I know the girls that we had in here were stunning, but I think that has been taken away.
I don't think it's a beauty pageant. I think this is more. What if you
It wasn't a
accomplish?
beauty
encompassing,
pageant so much,
yeah.
but you had to pass an appearance.
Mm-hmm.
I don't agree with that at all.
I'm not sure if this is appearance driven. I'm not.
I have a feeling it's not.
I don't think so. I think this is. What have you done?
Yes.
Let's see your accomplishments.
Makes more sense.
And they're great kids. Great kids.
My spirits have been buoyed not every once in a while, but about the youth that I end up meeting out in the community. Then I think back in our day when our parents were like maybe yelling, you kids don't know. We do the same thing, and maybe that's just a generational thing, but I'm pretty impressed with some of with a lot of the youth around.
Good. I agree.
I really am.
You see that in the Wild the Wild Rivers Film
You do.
Festival a
yes,
lot.
you do.
Yeah.
I attend their football games. I go to their basketball games at the high school, and I see kids well behaved, and the athletes work hard. They play with great passion and energy. I think the coaches do a fine job.
Well, and we talked a little bit about it. I played high school football, a little bit of junior college. But what's cool in Crescent City, they have all through town, whatever time of year it is, they have the football players up on the street corners.
I've seen 'em.
They have the girls' volleyball team up on the street. I think that's a really good,
Very nice.
good idea. A way to salute the youth that's coming up, because we're going to depend on them.
I don't want to get too heavily involved with politics, but public education has been under fire for a long, long
Yes,
time.
it has.
And
a lot of
however,
it's unfair.
The bulk of us are products of public education.
Yes, we
let's
are.
face it.
I
And
certainly was.
me as well.
Evidently taught us different things than they're teaching now, because we seem to have a lot of people that don't really understand what's going on.
Well, I think what you're finding now are the schools are being dictated by state standards.
Yeah.
And those standards are also based on being successful in taking tests. Well, you don't necessarily test in some classes, so they're not nearly as popular. We test, the high-stakes testing has changed everything in education. And I'm not sure it's good.
I'm not either.
If you're a teacher,
admitted, go ahead, Ray.
if you're a teacher teaching for the test, that's definitely a problem. Years ago, I took a flying ground school because I was afraid of flying, and I had to do a lot of general aviation flying. And somebody said, well, you ought to take a ground school so you know what's going on. It turned out that was a very bad idea, because with bush pilots, it's probably better you don't know what's going on. Let them worry about it. But anyway, I started the class with a school teacher who was also an instructor pilot. And he was teaching us how to fly an airplane. He wasn't saying this will be on the test, that won't be on the test. And part of the way through the class, he had to quit, and another instructor pilot from the community came in, and he was strictly talking about passing the test. This is going to be on the test. You didn't learn as much about flying from that guy as you did from the other guy, who was, I won't call it freewheeling, but he wasn't saying, do this, do this. It was flying an airplane.
Well, and speaking more of youth, go back to your organization, Tim. Young members. I mean, I'm assuming most members are in our general age group.
Yep,
but
that is correct.
Are there any young members or?
It's funny you mention that because we're always looking for new members, particularly members that might be under 50.
And we are too here. Boy, we are in line with a lot of that.
We
stuff.
are an aging group. I've got one gentleman in the car club that's got a hot rod Chevelle. He's 94 years old, and he still does burnouts. And
I think that's great.
It's our oldest.
He does the stuff we old people yell at other people for now. Hey, you young whippersnapper. Oh, you're 94?
94. And I tell you, in a fist fight, I'm putting my money on him.
Well, there you go.
He's a tough son of a gun.
There you go.
But yeah, we would love to have some younger people. We pick up a few on occasion.
I bet because they're just such a beautiful thing to look at.
It's very
you know. So yeah, well that's and like you, I'm encouraged about. I really am by today's youth.
I am as well.
Is that a thing with kids today? It was when I was a kid that, like I said before, we had the jocks and we had the car people. Are kids today interested in cars?
Well, some high schools have automotive classes.
Uh-huh.
And
if you
have the school that I worked at had an automotive class.
Yeah.
Hugely popular. And girls would enter it just as much as the boys were.
Uh-huh.
So it wasn't anything, didn't exclude kids. Kids joined. They don't do high-stakes testing on automobiles, so that was one of the first classes dropped.
Now, what did you call it? High stakes?
High-stakes testing.
Testing.
Yeah, I mean, English, math, science.
Okay.
Rather than theater or band
Okay.
or automos or welding. There's no testing. So those classes kind of were put on the back burner because we were so interested in getting kids to pass tests.
Yeah. My gosh, though, yes, they had auto class back then.
Mm-hmm.
I entered and left the next day because I knew it wasn't my thing. But that's another story, but that's okay. Not everybody's up to it. But today you have to be, the kids are computer savvy.
That's right.
And it's not like, going out there yanking a starter in the backyard. And
you're not a mechanic, you're a technician.
there you go.
And everything is modular. You replace parts, you don't fix stuff. That's
right.
But if I open the hood on my Thunderbird, every now and then I see something that I recognize. Like, I think that's the starter motor. I don't.
You're probably right.
I put new spark plugs in that when I first got it, which also include the coils, okay? So in order to get your spark plugs is usually like a half hour or an hour job. It was like 2 hours work just to get all the crap off that I needed to get off to get to. You start out with this big plastic cover that I don't think serves any
purpose?
Has any value at all other than
Right.
just making it look nice.
Yeah.
And then you're digging. There's always that one that bad bolt you cannot get to. I wound up going to Harbor Freight and buying a tool and modifying it so I could get to that nut.
It's definitely a specialty deal these days, man. I don't know. Like I said, I wasn't party to that. And Ray, you were talking about the jocks and the jocks and the music. No, what did you say earlier? Well, anyway, I was part of the jock crowd
the
because I
jocks.
played football.
Sure.
And they were mostly, maybe I said this already before, but they were mostly car people. So when the talk turned to cars, I casually slid away and went off to some other group because I couldn't.
Yeah, the jocks could also be car people, but I'm
Most of
talking
them
about
were.
primary purpose in life. seemed
Most
to be
of them
to,
were. Yeah.
to make your 20-something year old Ford look like it was unique. My car was called the Monster Mash. That's what, in those
high
days.
school?
Yeah, in those days you put the name, kind of a name on the fender. I had it painted all prime, and I had the back jacked up. This is embarrassing to even talk about, to 19 inches, and the front springs were clamped down to 10 inches. So I had a 9-inch rake.
Oh, I remember.
Made it very difficult to drive, but it was cool, man.
Yeah. Well, a little different segue, Tim, talking earlier, not only the cars are you very much into, you also are part of a local musical group.
That's correct.
And tell us a little bit about that.
We call ourselves the King Tides. It's great fun for us. We play at some of the local places in town. In fact, we played at Umbrella Farms yesterday. Then I did some solo singing at the Three Penny.
Oh, the theater?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
I let off last night at 6. We were supposed to everybody was supposed to get 30 minutes, but there was some scheduling issues, so I played first, and then a few other people played afterwards. But as far as the King Tides go, it's just 3 of us, a drummer and 2 guitar players and a couple of singers, and we just have a lot of fun. We play oldies, 50s, a couple from the 50s, mostly 60s, a few 70s, and it's good dance music.
Yeah.
We were at 101 Lounge here a week or so ago. We had people jumping and dancing and going crazy, and it's just a lot of fun. And I always make the expression, I say, if you're having as much fun as we are, you're having a good night. Because we have a lot of fun.
That's a kick.
And Tim is also a frequent contributor at the event that we talk about all the time.
Open mic.
Open mic at
Chetco Brewery.
At Chetco Brewery. Good place to go and hang out.
It is,
a lot of
man.
good music and
A lot of
good
talent
people.
here in
Yeah,
town.
if you're
Real
new
nice
in town
folks.
and want to meet people, it's a great place
I
to
agree.
go.
And the Umbrella Farms isn't it just kind of, I haven't been out there. I was out there when it was a nursery few years ago, but now they've done some improvements, I understand.
Improvements, that's a misnomer.
Okay.
You got to get out there when they're open and take a look at that.
I will
facility.
be out there.
Those grounds are stunning.
That's what I hear.
And he's built a venue that would be perfect for weddings, receptions, concerts. You have to see it.
It's
It's difficult to describe what
Yeah.
Mike and Michelle have done out there.
Wow.
It's really a
That
beautiful.
will be on my local bucket list.
It's
for
very
sure.
nice.
He's a neighbor of mine, but I haven't been there yet.
Yeah, well, again, I haven't either.
I don't know if I just don't think about it or what, but
And it's out there. It's a beautiful spot along Ocean View Drive there.
Lovely.
Harbor.
yeah.
God. Yeah.
And they still sell plants, is that right?
Yes,
Used to be the best nursery in town.
I remember that.
Yes,
Yeah.
it was.
Well, it's an amazing property. If nothing else, just walk around. It's
Yeah.
really something.
Yeah.
And there's an umbrella on every table.
Oh,
Plus Umbrella Farms. It's really perfect.
That's cool.
Very
That's
nice.
really cool. So, and we talked a little bit about your love of cars, your initial love of cars. How early did you get into playing music? Pick up your guitar or drums?
Well, I sang in 2 college choirs. I did a little singing in a high school choir. And then I picked up a guitar probably when I was freshman year.
Okay.
Had put a little band together. During the Beatlemania, everybody had a band.
Well,
That
hello.
that was just the way it went.
There must have been 10 garage bands
Yep,
on my
yep.
street, and I was in one of them too.
And then as life approaches, your values changed a little bit. And I kind of got away. And then I had a good friend of mine pass away that he and I were in that band together. And I said, I kind of dedicated, I'm going to get back into music once I lost my friend Tom.
Nice.
And I picked up a bass guitar, played that for several years in a garage band, picked up a 6-string about 4 years ago. And that's what I've been concentrating on ever since.
Boy, our history's kind of parallel there.
Yeah. Tim, by the way, Tim has a wonderful voice and he plays guitar very well. He's worth the price of admission to open mic.
There is no
admission,
price. By the way.
That's awesome, though. Yeah. You know what happened to me, real quick is, and I was probably 8 or 9. Went to my grandmother's house, and she had a little basement. And I was down there, a bunch of old toys, and there was a little old cheap plastic ukulele, black and white. I'll never forget it.
It's the famous "How I Learned to Play a Guitar."
I picked that thing up, and there was a little booklet with it, and I wanted to say it was Burl Ives on how to play it, but that little moment there got me thinking, oh, I kind of like strumming and playing.
Mm-hmm.
And then again, when the Beatles came out, Mom and Dad, I need a guitar.
I remember, same thing.
And thank heavens for my mom and dad.
Did they get you a Sears guitar?
It was a
It seemed
Sears
like
and
everybody
Roebuck.
started
It was
with
a
a Sears and Roebuck. yeah.
Again, black and white, and the frets were black and white. What was Silvertone?
That sounds about right.
What they called those guitars. And yeah, from then on, I still mess around.
You just mentioned a ukulele. Have you heard John Kenlon?
Sure.
Oh, my
have.
goodness.
He was the first time I heard John, he was in the studio here, and he was playing while Carl Sandstrom was reading poetry.
Mm-hmm.
That guy's amazing.
It's what a talent.
What
a talent.
He does a Chicago song.
he does.
Okay,
everything
Chicago
on
has
that
got what
ukulele.
a bunch of horns.
Oh
and all
yeah,
kind-
big horns.
they're not needed. He could just do that, and you can't believe what he's getting out of a.
No, he's fun, great to watch.
Great guy, number one.
And
a wonderful musician.
Right. And what's his last name? John?
Canlin. Canalin.
Okay.
He used to just like sit on a bench and play around town. Does he still do that?
I think he does.
Yeah. He just likes playing. Yeah.
Yep. And he's good.
Yeah.
He's really good.
He emits joy on the stage
Yep.
when he's up there.
Yep.
And everybody gets into it.
Now, I don't want to get too close to a couple things I still have to mention regarding the car
Please
show.
do.
Go ahead, yeah.
We're still looking for sponsors. Could be cash. It could be a basket. It could be something hanging in your garage that might be a good raffle prize. And we always need items for the silent auction. Again, last year the silent auction had a safe. It had the redwood carvings, fishing with a guide in the ocean, or perhaps steelhead fishing when in the wintertime. Those are items that are on our silent auction. And that's a huge part of how we raise money. The raffle prizes, last year we had about over 100 raffle prizes, some of them very, very, very nice. And so if you've got some ideas that you'd like to help out, cash is king. That's always a wonderful thing. But at the same token, anything that would be a good raffle prize or a silent auction prize, we'd be happy to. We just picked up a silent auction prize. I'm not sure exactly what it's called, but you lay on a bed and people walk around you and bang on little drums and wind chimes, and it's this natural
kind of a healing thing, or
we've got a coupon to go for that. And that's a high dollar option. And you can win that if you bid properly on the silent auction.
Now, where does this auction take place? At the show?
We do all of it the day of the show.
Okay. At the field?
Yep, at the parking lot. So as people are buying their raffle tickets, then we'll put the numbers up on a whiteboard. Please go check the numbers. The silent auction, we do that at the end of the day. Because we want people to bid as long as they possibly can.
Awesome.
And you'll see the bids. It may go 50 to 51, or it may go 50 to 100.
Yeah.
Just depends on what people have an interest in.
So, Tim, how to get a hold of you, the club, to submit their donations or their raffle prizes?
Practically everybody's got a computer. Best way to get a hold of us is going through the website, currycountycruisers.com.
There it is.
If you plug that in, it'll pop up automatically. You can see the members. You can see their cars. You can see our schedule, our calendar. Everything is on the website. And that's the best way to get a hold of it. Plus, you'll also get the president's phone number, and you have email access.
Okay, which I did go on, by the way, but I'll peruse it further because I would love to see the other cars. I didn't see that little. I didn't click
it's up
the
there.
right thing.
Member cars, you'll see it.
Okay,
You'll
next
see
time
it.
I'll be more observant.
And that's only a fraction of the cars. So we have members that have more than 5 cars. Well, they don't all get their pictures on the website.
I'll be darned. Well, you mentioned your motorcycles. How many cars do you have right now?
Classics are of interest, just the 2.
Oh, okay.
The El Camino is clearly the most custom car we have.
Okay.
Or I shouldn't say custom, the most classic. The Jeep being 40 years old, I consider it special interest.
Oh, man.
Some people, it's a cool Jeep. I like it.
Is this a military Jeep?
No, it's just a CJ7.
Oh, okay.
Made in 1984.
Okay. Well, we're about to run out of time,
Whoa,
Tim.
are we ever?
Thank you very much for being on our show. And anybody like I said, come on in. You could get a hold of us, kciw.org. And we'd love to have you come on the show.
And speaking of donations, we accept donations
We
to keep
sure
us
do.
alive, too.
We sure do.
So I appreciate you having me here. It's been great fun.
Thanks for coming.
I've been looking forward to it.
All right. KCIW 100.7 FM in beautiful Brookings, Oregon. Thank you all.